Calling this 10-year-old Ashley, an assumed name to protect her identity because she faces some very tough allegations.
We was at the track because I like running track with my friends. And then my mom called my friend and she told me that my mom said that I have to come home.
That's the kind of conversation you expect to hear from a 10-year-old girl. But Ashley's mother didn't want her to come home because it was late. Her mom wanted her home because this fourth grader was being arrested by HPD for aggravated sexual assault.
I was crying. They took me to the car, and I didn't want to get in. I was crying. I was moving, trying not to get in a police car, and my mama told me to calm down.
Let's take you to the beginning of this story. It happened back in April here in the courtyard of this apartment complex. Quanell X, who has been working with the family, says Ashley was among a group of children playing. That's when a neighbor saw something and called the mother of a 4-year-old boy who was also playing in the group.
I've never dealt with a child this young being accused of a crime. In fact, this was nothing more than inappropriate horseplay that has now led to a child 10 years old being charged with aggravated rape.
To give you a clear picture, X says Ashley, who was then 9 years old, was playing doctor with the other kids in that courtyard, a game that led to her spending 4 nights in custody here at the Harris County Juvenile Detention Center in June. That's because the charges and arrest came 2 months after the initial complaint in April, according to Ashley's mother.
It's a nightmare to even have to go through something like this with your child, because that's my baby. That's my baby. And just the thought of her having to go through it hurts me.
Ashley's mother also says the Houston police sex crimes investigators didn't allow her to sit in on the questioning of her daughter. She says a 45-minute long interrogation that left her 10-year-old in uncontrollable tears and fear.
From what she's telling me, they was threatening her juvenile detention and stuff like that if she didn't tell.
A spokesperson for HPD says they're not commenting on the case because it involves a juvenile. Meanwhile, Ashley and her mother could not talk about the facts of the case. It's clear they're claiming the young girl did nothing wrong. A girl who has to be consoled by her mother when she talks about being held in juvenile custody those 4 days.
When my mom came and saw me, I told her I wanted to go home. And then she said that I couldn't go home. And she was like, I know you want to go home.
And this is where we decided to stop the interview. Now, once again, the Houston Police Department is not commenting on this case because it involves a juvenile. The 10-year-old is back in court in October. We will continue to follow this. Isaiah Carey, Fox 26 News.